Hey party people, I'm Captain Zeus and welcome back to BP Fun. In today's video, I have a bunch more Marvel news and rumors to go over with you guys that I wasn't able to cover in the previous video. So if you want to check out some other Marvel news, check out, I guess it should be somewhere on the screen, the previous Marvel news video I did, and click the bell to be notified to stay up to date with all nerdy news and like and subscribe for more nerdy content just like this. So this happened this week. In case you didn't notice, we have yet another title change for the Agatha series. It was called Agatha the Lying Witch with Great Wardrobe earlier this week, but not even 2 days since that name changed. They changed it again to Agatha All Along. This series is set to premiere September 18th with a 2-episode premiere, and it's under the new Marvel Television banner. Now, I don't know if this was stupid smart marketing or stupid title changing executive decisions or what, but it was mad annoying the fact that they went through like 7 or 8 title changes ever since this project has been off the ground. And even this title, Agatha All Along, was one of the ones they were going to go with early on. So I don't know what's going on with the show. It's not really a show anyone was really asking for or wanting. And I mean, I don't have an issue with Agatha as a character. I'd like to see more of her within Scarlet Witch projects, but not in her own show, especially one where it's just her escaping the prison. Makes no sense. She's a villain. Don't try to make her into an anti-hero / misunderstood hero. In case you guys don't know what the Marvel Television banner is, Marvel Studios has been split up into 3 different studios. They have Marvel Studios, which is just about the films, Marvel Television, which is, I'm sure if you guessed it, the television side of things, like with Disney Plus and whatnot, and then Marvel Animation, which will cover everything animation. So instead of everything just being Marvel Studios, it's now underneath one of those 3 banners, which is a little weird because not too long ago they announced that all of the television projects, or some of them, would be underneath the Marvel Spotlight banner. Like the Echo series and the upcoming Daredevil series were going to be underneath that banner. So I'm not sure as to what happened with Marvel Spotlight. That seems to have been scrapped, unless that's still a thing. There's a lot of in-company changes happening with divisions and whatnot, so we'll just have to see. Kind of got mixed feelings about the fact that they're splitting this into 3 different studios. They should be able to handle it all into one, but I mean, it's cool that we're getting studios dedicated for these types of projects, but it could also lower quality. Who knows? We'll have to see as to how this goes. But with this announcement of Agatha's name change and with the Marvel Television studio being announced, there is updates on 2 of the upcoming Marvel Disney Plus series. One being the Ironheart series that absolutely nobody is excited for or asked for. It is set to release on Disney Plus in 2025, and the series that everybody's excited and happy to hear about is the Daredevil Born Again series with a brand new logo and a release date of March 2025. And let's be honest, this logo that they made for Daredevil Born Again is like the best MCU logo I've seen, period. It looks phenomenal. Charlie Cox did say that this series is going to be 9 episodes long, at least this season, which is a bit concerning, the fact that it's going to be 9 episodes. Unless they're like an hour to an hour and a half each, I could see it being 9 episodes, but I don't think that's going to be the case considering Disney's track record with MCU projects as of late. I don't think any of them, episode-wise, have gone past an hour, maybe an hour 10. So it's going to be concerning to see that, because especially with a Netflix series where each one was over an hour, and we had like, what, 12 episodes? I think at least 8 for sure. We'll have to see as more news comes out about this series and when we get a trailer for it as well. Super hyped for Daredevil Born Again. Now, something that's been in the works for years is the Nova project. It's gone from being a movie to being a show to being back to being a movie again, with the OG Nova as its centerpiece. However, that seems to have been scrapped entirely according to Daniel RPK. It seems that we're not even going to be getting the first Nova, as we're going to be getting the younger version, Sam Alexander, in a Disney Plus series that is set to start production next year, which is not cool. I'll be honest, I would have rather have had the first version of Nova, so that way, 1, we can get darker, more serious stories. 2, it'd be cool to see another mantle being passed, because we honestly don't see that often in the MCU or in comics in general. And 3, I'm just tired of them trying to get like the kid version of characters in there, because it looks like the reason why they're bringing in Sam Alexander, if this is to be true, is because they're going to be building a Young Avengers. Sam Alexander's Nova was a part of the Champions in the comics. Champions was with Amadeus Cho Hulk, Miss Marvel, Miles Morales Spider-Man himself, and it was just basically just a young version of heroes, although that series did not last long. It looks like that's what they're trying to do with the Young Avengers project or movie that they're going to be making, is just the next generation. Honestly, I'm not really a big fan of this choice choice considering that we already have plenty of younger characters to work with here. I don't think this is what we need. Now on the flip side, some very interesting news did just drop recently. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the duo behind the Spider-Verse films, are officially in charge of all of the Sony Marvel films and TV shows according to the Hollywood Reporter. Now I think this is a very smart decision by Sony to do this, considering the fact that everything except for the Spider-Verse projects has been absolute garbage. I mean, Venom 1 was okay, and Venom 2 was not even up to par with Venom 1, although it had the potential to be. So it's a shame that Sony doesn't know how to listen to fans and actually make good stories and hire good writers. But I think with them getting Phil and Christopher on board as the head of their SMCU, if you will, it'll give them some direction and we'll be able to make some really good content going forward that could add to the MCU or rival the MCU, which is, I think, their goal. Now, while we're on the topic of Sony Marvel projects, it is official that Nicolas Cage is going to reprise his role as the Spider-Man Noir character in an upcoming live-action Amazon Prime Spider-Man Noir series. Now, this was also a popular rumor that fans desperately wanted to come true, and we all got our wish granted. Steve Lightfoot, who worked on Marvel's The Punisher series, and Oren Uziel, who did 22 Jump Street, will serve as the showrunners for the series. Henry Bradbeer will direct the first 2 episodes. This is fantastic. Nick Cage, fantastic actor. He did a very good job as the Noir Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse movies. If we're going to be honest, it's the easiest choice and probably the best choice to choose for a live-action Noir Spider-Man. Although, yes, there are other ones, younger ones that you could have done as well, but this is going to be a middle-aged man that's not Peter Parker that they're going to focus on in this series. So I think Amazon Prime, they're gonna be doing good with this one. Now, some unfortunate news for Amazon Prime here. The Silk Spider Society live action series is no longer in the works for Amazon. According to Deadline, the show that has been in the works for 5 years and greenlit for 2 years isn't moving forward with Amazon because of the troubled production of the show and the rights reverting back to Sony Pictures Television, which is honestly, I would say, unfortunate, but at the same time, I didn't really care for the Silk Spider-Man Society series. Silk's character, at least in her origins and beginning stages of her character, is very reliant on Peter Parker Spider-Man. So unless you're going to have a Peter Parker Spider-Man in that series in its own universe, I don't see how this show is going to survive. Just like with all, really, of the Sony projects that have Spider-Man villains that are very tied to Spider-Man directly, not having Spider-Man in there, it doesn't work. It has not worked. However, the show is still going on as Sony is looking for new buyers for this project, which is unfortunate that they're still thinking this is a good idea, but let's see if Phil and Christopher can change their minds, maybe rework the series into something that's actually going to be good. Now, we do have an official look at some Deadpool and Wolverine merchandise designed by Koto Bukiya. Not sure what it is exactly, but we definitely see Wolverine will have his signature mask on in the movie at some point. It makes sense. I mean, he already has his comic accurate costume in there. You might as well go full 100% comic accurate instead of 99.9. So, and we've also seen it with the leaked images and posters that have been around for Wolverine in this movie. So I think this is awesome that we're going to be seeing more merchandise covering that. Now, speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, Cable is apparently not going to be in the movie. Josh Brolin was talking about Cable's return, saying, "I will never know where that went or what that is or what I'm involved with or what I'm not involved with in the MCU." Cable was a lot of fun and I liked doing that role. To be fair, I wasn't a fan of Josh Brolin being casted as Cable. I think there were other actors that deserved that role and would have done a better job in that role than him. Considering he's already a pretty big actor as it is, and he was already playing Thanos. Now, perhaps this has to do as to why they're not casting or why they didn't bring him back for Cable. Although this is set in a different universe, so you can have different characters being played by different actors or the same actor and it still work. Now, I'm also questioning as to why Cable is not in the movie, considering the fact that the reason why Deadpool, from what I can assume, is getting abducted by the TVA due to his time travel, which should have been caused by Cable, who also was time traveling. So you would think that he would be an important character in this movie, but nevertheless, maybe we'll get a different version of Cable in there. I think that'd be cool. Nevertheless, I think we'll just have to see as to what happens with this movie, because I know everybody's excited for it. Now, while we're on the topic of mutants, Daniel RBK has revealed some concerning reports about the upcoming MCU X-Men project. According to him, the rebooted film will now focus on the female characters. They also want to introduce characters we haven't seen in live action yet alongside the original members. Now look, I don't think it's an issue introducing new characters to the X-Men roster that we haven't seen in live action alongside original members. I think that's fine. I think that helps bring in diversity and change and makes it more unique. What I think is the issue is when you're trying to focus on the female characters. Because one, it's not the X-Women, not even a roster of the X-Men has been all men or all women, and there's a reason for that. And the fact that if this is to be true, that they're going to be pushing heavily on that once again, because there was a rumor saying that the reason why the Fantastic Four movie was under, potential heat was because it was going to focus on Sue instead of the Fantastic Four. And that's twice now that there's been a rumor that they're trying to focus on the females in a team group instead of the team. Nothing wrong with female characters. Again, you can make female characters right, but Marvel just seems to be having an issue with that. And so it's just agenda pushing. It's this agenda pushing that Disney is doing that is potentially costly for the MCU, even more in a time where they need to be very careful about their decisions. So hopefully this rumor is not true. Hopefully they just learn from the success of previous X-Men movies and just give us high quality content. That's all us fans want. And according to the Insider, for this X-Men project, they're close to hiring a writer, and we got two options here. We have Rafe Judkins, who did The Wheel of Time, and Michael Leslie, who did the Hunger Games prequel Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Let's just not do Rafe, because The Wheel of Time's boring as frig. I couldn't even get past the first episode. Trailer alone didn't interest me, but man, did the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, that movie was fantastic. Such a good movie. And if we can get that writer for the X-Men movie, you know that we're going to be doing amazing for the mutants in the MCU, and that would be a heck of a debut for them as well. So fingers crossed that we're going to be getting Mr. Leslie there for the X-Men movie. Back to the Sony side of things here, we do have a potential logo for Venom 3: The Last Stand. And to be honest, I've seen fan-made logos look better than this one. However, on the contrary, there's some supposed leaks that is showing a different logo alongside with some potential merch that is showcasing a possible antagonist for the movie being Lasher, one of the 5 symbiotes spawned from Venom by the Life Foundation. So I think it's interesting because the first logo definitely fits the theme of the Venom movies. However, the second logo definitely shows that it's going in a different direction, especially since color scheme would fit Lasher the symbiote. It's like how in the second movie, the logo and the color scheme fit Carnage. So I'm honestly torn as to which one would be it. Maybe it's neither, but I mean, the second image does have merch to follow suit, unless that's just really good fan-made stuff. But you'll have to let me know in the comments below which one you think it is. And to wrap things up, the not anticipated movie, the one that no one's looking forward to, Kraven the Hunter, has a new release date. It's going to be coming out December 13th, 2024, a week before Sonic 3, which I'm not a fan of the Sonic movies. I couldn't even get into the first one considering how the trailers were, but I know a lot of people are into those movies. And the fact that you're changing your release date to be a week before a highly anticipated movie such as Sonic 3, yeah, don't watch it. Go watch Sonic 3 instead. What do you guys think about all this Marvel news and rumors? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Captain Zeus, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.